I am going to simplify a recipe today. The idea for this came from a more complicated recipe, braised rabbit. And although I have rabbit in the freezer, I thought, why not do this a simple and economical way? The rabbit was $8 a pound. I went to Costco yesterday and I bought 2 whole chickens. They were $1.19 a pound. And I got to thinking, how many times have you served something like rabbit and people say, oh, this is good, it tastes like chicken. Well, if it tastes like chicken, why not use chicken? So that's what I want to do today. I want to make braised chicken. I have here the drumsticks and thighs from those 2 chickens. I cut them up last night. I wasn't sure whether to do bone in, boneless, skin on, skin off. I decided to compromise. I left the bone in, but I took the skin off. You need between 2 to 2.5 pounds of chicken. That's about 900 grams to 1.1 kilogram. I actually have close to 3 pounds here. So 2 drumsticks, 2 thighs. Just slightly season these with salt. And then my pepper mill here. I'm going to use a paper towel on my pepper mill so I don't get my handle all gunked up with chicken stuff. And then I've got some flour here. This is about half a cup of flour. I'm going to lightly dredge these in flour. I don't need a lot on there, just lightly. And then I can start browning them. The other 4 pieces I'll do later. I've got a skillet heating on the stove here. I'm going to put about 4 tablespoons, I guess, of olive oil. This is cooking olive oil. I call it cooking olive oil. This is pure olive oil. It's not extra virgin, which I use as a flavoring oil. And then I'm going to put my chicken pieces in there. And I'm going to brown these lightly on both sides. Okay, so this is the last of my chicken. You can see how nicely brown that is, just lightly brown. This was 4 minutes per side for the browning. I'm transferring this out. Now I'm going to add to my pan. This is 1 large clove of garlic that I've just crushed, flattened. I don't need to mince that up. I'm going to be removing that afterwards. Sprig of rosemary. This is 1/8 of a teaspoon of red pepper flakes or crushed red pepper. And then a pinch of salt, pretty good sized pinch of salt. And then I'm going to just bring my heat back up and I'm going to cook this until the garlic starts to brown. That'll take about a minute. Okay, so you can see how my garlic here has browned. I'm going to leave that in the pan, but I'm going to remove that later. Meanwhile, I want to start adding my chicken back to this pan again. So I have my chicken in the pan now. What I'm going to add here for my liquid, this is 1 cup of homemade chicken stock to which I've added half a cup of dry white wine. And I'm going to bring this liquid to a boil and reduce the liquid by about half with the cover off. So I've reduced my liquid here now to about half. This took about, I don't know, 10, 12 minutes. I'm going to remove a couple of pieces of chicken here because I need to get to this liquid because I'm going to be stirring in a paste to help this to thicken. What I have here is a mixture of 2 tablespoons of butter. This is at room temperature. And 1 tablespoon of flour. I mixed these together. That's all-purpose flour. I mixed these together to make a paste. I'm going to stir this into the liquid, and this will thicken somewhat right now because the liquid is hot. But what I have set up on the side here is 1 cup, which is 237 milliliters of chicken stock. I'm going to add about half of that right now. And I'm going to keep this stock on the side and I'll add more as I need to. I'm ready to return these 2 pieces of chicken back to the pan. It's just coming up to the boil, the liquid. I'm going to reduce the heat to low, put a lid on that, and I'm going to simmer that for about 1 hour Every 15 minutes or so, I'll come in and check it, turn the pieces over. I'll add more chicken stock or water if that pan looks like it's starting to boil dry. I turned the heat off under this about 3 or 4 minutes ago to let it rest. You can see by the way the chicken is pulling away from the bone that this is fall off the bone tender. So in the meantime, I am cooking some noodles. I think this would be good with egg noodles. You could do this with any vegetables. If you're going to use vegetables, include mashed potatoes, because that gravy is so good. I think it would be good over mashed potatoes. I have some noodles here. I'm going to put plenty of these on my plate. Add them all. Plate always looks better when it's full. And then I'm going to put, let's see, one of my chicken thighs, I guess, on the plate. And then add some of my gravy. This gravy, by the way, I tasted it. It has a nice flavor of rosemary in it. Get some on the chicken. And there it is, braised chicken. Can't wait to see how good all of that's going to taste. Okay. Taste my chicken first here. Very tender. Melt in your mouth tender. Then my noodles with some of my gravy on top. It's got a nice flavor of just a hint of rosemary, not a strong flavor, but you can tell the rosemary is there. So excuse me, I'm going to go enjoy my braised chicken. For a printable PDF copy of this recipe with step-by-step photographs, visit my website, mobilehomegourmet.com, and look on the home page or in the recipe archive.